Today we're going to take a look at the new filter argument that can be used with the image gallery component. The filter argument allows you to put all of your images in one directory and then filter what's displayed based on some criteria. So for example, you may look for all images that begin with J within the specified directory or so on. So this grid that we're looking at here is using a image gallery component that we're calling and using a filter to display, in this case, only the Jaguar images. And it's doing that by having a filter that's applied to the image gallery component itself. So I'm going to click on a couple of different projects. This is the Goshen project and the images associated with that. Here we'll look at the Holly Hill project. These are all pulled out of the same directory. This button down below here is going to show all images from all of the filters that are displayed in this grid component. So let's say, for example, I say I just want to look at projects, and now I see I have two rows. I have the Goshen project and the Holly Hill project. When I click on Show All Images, I'm going to get the result of both of those filters. Now that was done by using a JavaScript function. Instead of binding the argument to a field value, here we're binding the result set to the result of a JavaScript function. And that's how we're deriving the filter. So let's take a look at how we did that. When we look at our fields, you'll notice I have a field called My Filter. It's currently a hidden field, and I'm going to go ahead and show that to you. When we look at the contents of My Filter, you can see the different filters that are being applied to the different rows. So when I select the first row, the image gallery component is going to filter by this filter that's specified here. So it's going to get all images that begin with 09, and then we have a wildcard. And that happens to be, in my case, all of the Jaguars. So these can be any type of filter that you might want. When we look at the button, and we want to take a look at what we're doing with that button, when we look at the click event, you can see we're going to open up an image gallery component that I've previously defined. And when we take a look at the action for the image gallery component, we're going to look at the argument bindings. Here, the important one is the filter. This is new, and in this case, the argument value is the placeholder my_filter, which in our case is a field that's referenced within our grid component. So this image gallery will be filtered by the contents of that field. Also within our grid, we have an action button. And let's go take a look at our action button definition. So our action button, which is Show Images, and on click, we're going to open up an image gallery component. And in this case, let's take a look at the argument bindings. Are going to be a little bit different. Rather than binding to a placeholder for a field or a static value, here we're using the result of a JavaScript function. So it says JavaScript filter images. Filter images is the JavaScript function that we're going to call, and its results will determine what the filter is. Let's go look at the JavaScript function definition. Here we see the JavaScript function filter images. And here we're using a new method of the grid object called harvest column. And harvest column will return by default a comma delimited list of in this case, all of the rows that are displayed, and we're using my filter to drive it. So essentially we're going to look through all of the displayed rows. We're going to pull my filter, the value of my filter, out in a comma delimited list, and that's what's going to drive the image gallery component filter. So to recap, what we've done is we've We're using one directory that contains all of our images, and we're driving the display of the images by a filter that's defined by either a hidden field that's within this grid component, or when we click on Show All Images, that is the result of a JavaScript function that essentially concatenates all of the filters from the rows that are displayed within the grid component. This new capability should add tremendous value to all the different components that can use the new filter function.